would it be okay if I talk to you for a little bit? Really? Thank you. So, I'm really sorry to do this, but I kinda need to vent a little bit. You see, well, life's been a bit interesting as of late, and I just need to get it off my chest. But I guess before I say that, after I'm done, you can vent out too, because I'm sure that you also have things that you would like to talk about. And I'll listen to you if you listen to me. And perhaps maybe you can relate to some of it. Maybe not all of it. And there's always a chance that you actually might not relate to it at all. And that's perfectly fine because we all have different life experiences, so I'm not going to expect you to fully understand. But if you're willing to listen, that's good enough for me. I guess I'll start. Actually, I don't really know where to start. Let me think. Alright, yeah, I think this will be a good place to start. You ever feel like you just never have enough time to do anything? Like, you have time to do what you have to do, chores and whatnot to work. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things that are fun. Like getting to talk to people, getting to go out, hang out with people, that kind of stuff. I often feel a little secluded because I feel like I'm so busy doing the tasks that I have to get done, the things that need to get done. And by the time that I'm done doing all those things, I'm really exhausted and tired and need to sleep. There never seems to be enough time to, enjoy life. Or to take moments to just sit down and relax fully. It constantly feels like I have to do something, like I have to be productive, I have to do this, I have to do that. I just constantly have to be working on something, never being able to do something for myself or something that I think it would be fun. Honestly, this feeling's been eating away at me. It's really hard to manage your time better and to, have time for everything. Always feels like there has to be some sacrifices involved. And I'm trying to learn. I'm making steps to try to find that work-life balance that everyone likes to talk about. And I do think that I am getting there slowly. It'll just take some time to work on. Unfortunately, that's one of the few things that's bothering me, but there's something else that's a bit more prominent in my mind, if I am completely honest. This next one, I don't know if you'll relate or not, but if you do, please let me know, because sometimes I feel a little pathetic feeling this way, if I'm quite honest. Do you ever by chance feel like you try really hard or you put your mind, your soul into something, but it's still not enough? And I feel this way in different aspects of my life. If you're working on a project and you put a lot of time and effort and you're not satisfied with the end result, or something seems off and it just kind of eats away at you. That's part of it sometimes, I will say. I feel like there are things I have a vision of, but when I actually try to make that vision come alive, it doesn't really pan out the way I had envisioned, I guess. That's okay, things take time and practice and effort. Trial and error, as they say, right? But sometimes I feel like I want to try really hard to get the attention of someone or impress people in general. But often I find that I'm not satisfied with other people's reactions of things that I do. And I know it probably isn't a good idea to seek the attention of others for validation. But sometimes you create something, and you want to share it with the world or share it with other people. You want that attention. You want to be noticed, praised, that kind of stuff. And when it doesn't happen, it kind of makes it difficult to be proud of what you created. And yeah, probably shouldn't be that way. We should create things for ourselves and for our own self-satisfaction and be proud of what we make. Not put all the value into our creations based off of the opinions of others. But that's easier said than done, right? I feel like we as people often seek validation from others. Having others praise us for things that we do makes us feel nice. We all like compliments, It reassures us that we're doing well. Because we, as people, can often struggle with confidence. And it's easy to want to seek that validation from people outside of us. That's a little awkward to admit sometimes. I won't exactly lie about that. But at least that is true for me. So, yeah. I hope I don't sound weird or crazy, trying to be a bit more open and vulnerable with you. I do appreciate you listening in on my thoughts, I guess. Even though you don't have to, I do appreciate your time, so thank you. Thank you very much. I guess another thing that kind of ties into all this is never feeling like I'm enough. And what I mean by that is I feel like I have expectations or goals for myself. And when I fall flat, I tend to beat myself up over it. Probably more than I really should. And it's kind of funny because I'll hold myself up to this really high standard, but I won't hold anyone else up to that standard because it doesn't really make sense to me to do that. I feel like I'm often very hard on myself and will beat myself up over one small mistake. And I'm sorry if I'm just kind of rambling and going all over the place with this. It's just getting my thoughts out there is very difficult, and I'm not the most organized person, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm just gonna be rambling along and jumping here and there, jumping back and forth between topics. It's kind of what I am good at doing, I suppose. And I guess it's funny that I, hold these high expectations for myself, but not for others. And I don't think it's good to have high expectations on others. You don't want to pressure people, right? But at the same time, it's kind of funny that we tend not to do that, yet we oftentimes pressure ourselves. It's kind of counterintuitive in a sense. I guess the saying goes, we are our worst critics is actually more true than I would care to admit. But I guess that's how it goes. I guess another thing is when you try really hard, but outside forces prevent you from doing what you have to do or what you want to do. I think oftentimes this is probably one of the worst feelings because you know that you're putting the effort in, you know that you're doing what you can, but some outside force is preventing you from getting where you want to be. Whether that just be bad timing, bad luck, people above you, people with more power, the world at large. It really kind of sucks because you gotta sit there and acknowledge the fact that there really isn't anything you can do, and it's hard to sit in that and hard to fully admit that, if I'm being quite honest. Because it's like, at least in my eyes, it's like, what do you do with that, you know? If you're trying to get somewhere and you get pushed back or get rejected, and it's not really your fault, it's just bad circumstances, it's really hard to jump back from that. At least for me it is. I guess in those moments I try to think, well, everything happens for a reason. And yeah, it's cliche, but I'd like to hope that there's a reason for things happening in our lives. Because if not, it kind of makes things a bit more difficult to, I guess, face. It's easy for us to brush things off or to be hopeful and think, well, that may have not worked out, but there's probably something else, or maybe there's a reason why it didn't work out. It's fine, maybe not the best way to cope, but it gets the job done, right? At least it does for me. Anyways, sorry for rambling and talking your ear out so much. I just really needed to get these thoughts out of my head. I wanted to share this with someone at the very least. Again, I'm not asking for you to give me advice. I'm not asking for you to fully understand. I'm just asking for you to listen. And the fact that you're still here listening to me and that you haven't interrupted me really does mean a lot. Simple acts of kindness, like just listening, go a really far way. And I want you to know that I appreciate it. And if you do relate to this, just know that I guess we're not alone. We're in this together. And that's kind of nice to think about. The fact that, we all struggle and, can find some solace in that. Perhaps there's other people who can understand the pain that we go through. And if you don't relate to any of this, that's fine too. Again, I'm not expecting you to. I just wanted to get this out there. But I think that's enough about me. I'm sure that you have a lot of things that have been troubling you or have troubled you in the past. So, I'll let you take over for now. So tell me, what's going on in your life that you would like to talk about? Anything you want to get off your chest? I'm here to listen to you and hopefully provide some support. I can't guarantee that I may understand it all, but I'll do my best to. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. We're not alone. So, let's take it easy today. Let's talk about our feelings. Let's vent out our frustrations. And then move forward to a brighter future. We got this. You got this. Alright. Talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. And take all the time that you need.